My name is Davey Vega. The reason I wanted to become a wrestler is because as a kid I was always involved in sports. I was an athlete and my sport of choice was baseball. Unfortunately, for those of you that watch baseball, understand that it's not very entertaining unless someone is running into a wall or hitting home runs or actually hitting somebody on the base paths, and that doesn't happen very often. Wrestling was the embodiment of everything that I wanted out of baseball. It was me being able to be an athlete while still being able to entertain people. As a kid also, I was a class clown, so that was the reason why wrestling called to me. I wanted to make people laugh. I wanted to make people feel comfortable in situations around me. And I just wanted to be not necessarily the center of attention, but I wanted to be that guy where people are like, hey, I want to hang out with that guy, or I want to be around this guy because he's got a good vibe about him, or he's got a good aura. That's why being able to entertain people in wrestling is what I always wanted out of baseball but didn't get. So that's why I wanted to become a wrestler, so I can entertain people and still be an athlete at the same time. My training experience, I was trained in 2006 by a man named Dingo at Gateway Championship Wrestling in St. Louis. A couple years after that, I went to the Chikara Wrestle Factory and was trained by Mike Quackenbush for an 8-week stint. And then I went back a year later for a 6-week stint. And I did some seminars with some of the top indie guys like Samoa Joe and Chris Hero, just to name a couple, and I've done some Ring of Honor camps as well. The biggest thing that I've learned about wrestling that I didn't know coming in was you have to be very mentally tough. Wrestling is a roller coaster. There's a lot of high highs and very low lows. Luckily, I had a good support system, and I had people around me that let me know and explain to me that, hey, you're not always going to hear yes. You're going to hear a lot of no's. Don't let that detract you from being a great wrestler or trying to be the best that you can be. And I was able to learn pretty quickly and pick it up that the mentally tough part of being a wrestler. So that was the biggest difference coming into wrestling compared to now. My goals in wrestling, I'd like to be an overseas talent. I'd like to go overseas for a couple tours, whether Japan, Europe, any of those. Those are immediate goals of mine. I'd like to be able to be a part of a bigger company so I have more eyes on me, whether that's, you know, they just have a bigger following, or whether maybe they have TV. It's kind of whatever has a bigger following. I can get my name out there and have more eyes on me. That's what I want to be a part of. I want to help get eyes on me and help a company grow at the same time. The two people that I'd like to wrestle, one is actually a tag team with, it would be the Super Smash Brothers against myself and my tag partner Matt Fitchett. I feel like they are super entertaining and super fun and super creative, which I also feel that Fitchett and I are. And I'd like to see what we could come up with and create out in a ring for the fans. I feel like that would be a very good clash of styles. Another one that I'd like to wrestle is someone who I personally feel is super underrated in the Midwest and wrestling as a whole, is Louis Lyndon. I've wrestled him a few times out in Cleveland for AIW and a couple times out on the East Coast. The guy is phenomenal. He deserves to be known in way more circles than what he is. What I think Glory Pro could become and what they could bring to wrestling, I think that they could be one of the biggest things that happened to the Midwest in St. Louis in general. With a mind like Michael Elgin, the guy's phenomenal in the ring, and he just gets it. He has the mind for the business. I feel that there's no stopping Glory Pro in 2017. I believe in Michael Elgin, and I believe in Glory Pro.